Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and before we get started on today's episode, I want to say go to the platform wherever you listen to podcasts, however you get podcasts. I want you to go. I want you to subscribe, so that way you can get the daily shows, the bonus episodes. You'll be the first one to receive all this goodness that we have to offer. Also, go to the same place and give us 5 stars, because we all know you love this podcast, all right? Once again, thanks in advance. Hello, everybody. How you doing today? My name is Horizontal, and this is episode 160 of the world-famous University Love podcast, also known as Online Marketing Moves. We're coming to you live today from the chilly city of Atlanta, Georgia. It is December 26, 2020. How was your Friday? How was your Christmas? Mine went pretty well. I made dinner for my wife and my in-laws. We had a nice time. Wife opened up her gifts. It was all lovely. Today we are going to talk about hitting it big at an advanced age. And today we are going to discuss one of my favorite people from the 80s. He was in a couple good movies. You know, he was in Caddyshack. He was in Ladybug. And he was in Back to School, a classic. His name is Rodney Dangerfield. And Rodney Dangerfield, his first big movie was Caddyshack, and that was 1980. Rodney Dangerfield was 58 years old at that time. 58. Can you imagine becoming a success in the career that you wanted from you're like 18, not until you're 58? Rodney Dangerfield, he went out. He's tried his hand at comedy. He was doing comedy. He said he quit show business. He said, nobody knew I quit show business because nobody knew I was in the show business. I said, that is a very good line, sir. But he quit for like 10 years. He became a salesman. I believe he sold aluminum siding. And then he decided to try it again. He said, he's going to create a persona. He created a persona. He wasn't getting enough respect. Some of that's very true, and some of that was, a little put on, but he started doing that, and he started getting booked for the late night talk shows. He was a frequent guest on Johnny Carson. He started doing more clubs. He started getting more success, and then, of course, his movie career took off in the 80s, and the 90s, and he died in 2004. He was like just about 80, I think 79, 80 years old, something like that. So Rodney Dangerfield, he enjoyed the movie career the last 20 years of his life. His comedy career took off when he was in his 40s. So it's like, it doesn't matter when the success happens. If you just stick with it and keep trying it and keep doing it, the success will come. You have to. A lot of this is just determination. And I read this story because the last couple months, when I needed to wind down for a couple minutes, I've been looking at like Rodney Dangerfield on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and then he made a couple of great appearances on Howard Stern. One was particularly good because it was a writer on Howard Stern accusing Rodney of stealing his jokes. But anyway, you can check all the Rodney Dangerfield comedy stuff out on YouTube. He was pretty funny. He made me chuckle, and I said. And I read more about him. I'm like, wow, this is really kind of inspirational because it's like 58. You always think of people winding down their careers at the age of 58. Not, boom, I'm a movie star. Boom, I got to do these projects. Boom, boom, boom. And he kept working up until he passed away in 2004. So I say all that to say, don't stop believing. You gonna make it someday. No, that's terrible. No, but you will. If you just keep going, if you just keep striving, and you just keep moving forward, keep taking the hits, you will make it. It's very, I know people. This is everybody now has the microwave mentality, and if it doesn't happen in 2 months, how the person says, I'm going to go to Hollywood, and if I don't make it in 3 months, then I'm going back home. And it's like, 3 months. There's a lot that can happen in 3 months. Why go out there 3 months? If it doesn't happen for you in the first 3 months, get a job or whatever, but keep going to the auditions. Never stop going to auditions. It's like you and I, we work, but you and I are not giving up on our dreams. You and I, want to do, I want to start an online business, a business online. You might want to do the same. You might want to become a comedian or something. We'll use that. You might want to become a comedian. Don't stop doing the YouTube videos just because you have to get a job. Doesn't mean that your eye is not on the prize. It just means you have to take a slight detour. But you stay the course. We talked about this yesterday. You stay the course on that formula, I put onions in the beef stew yesterday. I tried that again. Guess what? It still was good. So, you might have to steer the course a little bit. I mean, look at Rodney. He took 10 years off. The guy took 10 years off from trying to do showbiz. Then he said, you know what? I don't want to give up on my dreams. I'm coming back. And he came back and he was bigger, better than ever. Well, he was a somebody in Hollywood, So take that story and do what you will with it. But if you ever meet me and I'm gonna say how long you been, and if you say I'm not getting any success, and I'm gonna say how long you been at it, and if you don't tell me, I've tried it a couple times, you got to keep going, you got to keep striving, you got to keep putting in that work, man. I mean, it's just how it is. Some people, I mean, look at Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was 18. He was on like the Tonight Show, 18 or 19. He's the opposite of Rodney Dangerfield. But both of them are comedian legends. So it doesn't matter when you get started. It doesn't matter when you take off. You just have to keep going. Don't stop. All right? That's it today for this short edition of the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying your holiday season. This is always the weird time. From the 26th to the 30th, it's like, what do I do the next 4 days? You know what I'm going to be doing? Recording podcasts. So if you're at home, relaxing, keep up. Check out the podcast. And if you haven't listened to the older episodes, binge listen or something. I don't know. But anyway, my name is Tony Zano. I hope you enjoyed this edition of the podcast. And until we talk again, goodbye, everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, everybody, peace.